Hi friends, today I will show you how to display the data coming from the API on the front end. Okay, so this is the API which I am going to use, and this is the data coming from the API. I will display this data in form of table on the front end. So let's start a video. I will share the URL for this API in the description box so that you can use this also for the practice. Okay, so let's start a video. So first of all, as we are going to create a short code for this, so first of all I will use a function which is add short code. Okay, so in this short code I will just pass two things. So first one is the name for this short code. Okay, so for now I am giving the name to this shortcode API data. You can give any name here, and in second one I will use a callback function. I will define the callback function name. Okay, so for now I am using the function name API calling. You can give any name to this function. Okay, so now I am going to create the function API calling. Okay, and in this function we just have requirement for the URL of the API, and second one we just have a requirement for the arguments. Okay, so let me copy the URL. Let me copy this URL. So you can see this is the URL which I already have shown you. This is the URL of the API which I am going to use, and in arguments I am just passing the method. For now I am using a get method. Okay, so because I'm for HTTP request, okay, for HTTP request I will use the method WP remote get, and this particular method will use these two things as a parameter. Okay, so first of all it will take the URL of the API, and in second one we will pass the arguments if any. For so this method will perform the HTTP request, and we will save the response in this keyword which is in this variable which is response, and after then we will check this response if this response has any error or not. If is WP error response, it is okay. So for first of all, to check any error I will pass this response in this method is WP error. After then with this method get error message we will get the error if there is any, and we will display it, and if there is a no error in the API then we will proceed next. Okay, so I will use this method WP remote retrieve body. Okay, so this will fetch the data from this response, and then we will use JSON decode to decode this one. JSON decode. Okay, and we will save this in results. Okay, now I am just going to create a table here, only this particular row. So first of all let me clean this one. Okay, so this page is blank for now. Now I am just going to create this table. Okay, to create the HTML, let me again copy the code from here just to speed up the process. Okay, so I just have defined the HTML variable, just have defined ID, name, username, email, everything. Now I will return this HTML table. Okay, HTML. Let me check. This is the ID, name, username, and email. How I am getting this table from this shortcode? Let me explain. This is the name for the API data. You need to copy this, and on the front end, let me again explain to you. You can put this shortcode on any page. For now, I'm using the home page, and this is the method how you can write your shortcode. You can just use the square brackets, and I am just writing my shortcode here, and when you will write your shortcode here you will get the data. For now, I just have defined only this row, that is ID name username, and to get the number of rows under this rows, I will use a for each loop to get the dynamic data. Okay, all these data ID1, ID2, ID3, this data I will display with the help of for each loop. For that, let me use for each, and I will pass results. Okay, again I will copy this row and paste here. Use this result ID. This is the ID, this is the name which I will use from the API. This is small ID, small letters. Next, this is a name I will use in the second. Result name. Okay. Username. So now let's check results. Here you can see the results. Is this easy now? Okay, so let me explain again. So first of all, I will use this particular function add shortcode, and in this, in the first parameter, I will define the name for the shortcode which I will use to display the data. That is, this is the name for the shortcode which I have used to display on the front end. Okay, and next one, second one is the name of the callback function which I just have defined the URL for the API arguments. I just have passed the method, and WP remote get, this is the method I just have used to perform the HTTP GET request, and then we will check the response. If the response has any error, it will be taken by this method and it will display it here, or otherwise we will again use a method WP remote retrieve body to get the data from this response, and we will use a JSON decode to decode this, and we will save this in this variable results. Okay, then I just have created a static row where the name, ID, name, username, email, this is just a template, and then with the help of for each loop, I will just get the data from these results and will display in form of the rows. Okay, so if you still have any query or any question, you can ask me in comments. I will give you reply. I will share the code for this particular script in the GitHub, and I will share the link for the GitHub in the description box as well. Okay, bye bye. Thanks.